Hello and welcome to Imagine Pod. My name is Abigail Aude, and I am just one of the co-leaders at Imagine Pod. I lead it along with my colleague and friend Adriana Dakin, and we are really excited to share with you something that we're calling growth marketing with a mission. And so, what we wanted to do was share with you exactly who we are, a little bit of our background, what our vision is with Imagine Pod, and then what is specifically we're doing with growth marketing with a mission and why we have created it specifically for teams or for groups of organizations and exactly how you can get involved. And so what we wanted to do was walk through all of that here in a short video. So I'm going to share my screen and we will walk through that together. So this is our introduction officially to growth marketing with a mission, which is basically an experience. It's a course. It has some community, it has a lot of capacity building and training. It has a lot of components, which is what you're going to see as we go through it. And what we wanted to do was create it specifically for groups of people who need to collaborate on some level and really want to up level and their ability to use growth marketing as a tool to propel social purpose in some way. And so what you're going to see is that we at Imagine Pod are really devoted to that, helping people create impact in the world and using marketing as a powerful tool to do so. So here's a little bit about us. It was started and founded by myself, Abigail Aude, and my co-leader, Adriana Dakin. She and I have worked together for over 7 years in the agency world. We worked for a company called Vision Strategy, and then we worked for another agency called Do Big Things. And what we really did was we worked hand in hand with nationally and internationally recognized nonprofits, foundations, and social impact driven companies to help them create really effective digital marketing strategies and actually implement that marketing as well. So we've helped them implement digital advertising, influencer campaigns, effective content marketing, both launching and starting brands from the ground up, and also helping brands that are incredibly, extraordinary, very robust, with very large budgets and large teams. So we have worked with organizations and teams of people at every level and stage in terms of digital marketing. And so what we wanted to do was really take advantage of this beautiful relationship that we've had working together, and also our collective knowledge that we have basically working together and hand in hand with these organizations over 10 years or so, and turn it into something that we felt like could be accessible by many other organizations and kind of distill down what are the foundational pieces of marketing that will allow them to thrive and create the impact that they want to see in the world. So that's just a little bit about us. We're also two mothers. We are parents to young children, and so deep inside of us is this desire to nurture and to help things grow and develop. And so we love to really partner with people who have a vision and they know where they want to be, and they need a little bit of help to get there. And that is genuinely who we are at our core and in our heart. We talk about our clients and the way that we can do this day in and day out together. It's something we've done together, working with organizations on the same projects, doing things in partnership for years. And we wanted to continue to do so. And so that's a little bit about who we are personally. And then really, I would say overall, our bread and butter when we get together and we work is training passionate teams. And what we really love to do is work with organizations or groups of people that, like I said, have a beautiful vision, but they feel very overwhelmed and they feel like they just don't have the capacity to be able to implement what it takes to get to that vision and to be able to finally achieve their growth goals and do the things that they want to do. But they're willing and ready to learn and grow. They want some frameworks and strategic, advice. and they're, wanting to partner with somebody that's going to help them get there, and they're going to put in that work, and they're going to collaborate together in an effective way that will allow them to achieve that. That's what we absolutely love to do, because that's what we've been doing for years. And we really, really, truly enjoy it, the teaching and the training of groups of people in a way that builds their capacity and allows them and really empowers them to be able to achieve their goals. When we see people hit those milestones and actually see the results, it just brings us so much joy. And that is exactly what we want to continue doing for as many people as we can. Here's just a little snippet of whom we've worked with over the years. Again, we've worked with dozens of organizations, but we wanted to highlight just a few, especially those that we felt like were fairly memorable and really formative in what we've created with Growth Marketing with a Mission, and that we think kind of represent the diverse range of organizations that we've worked with in terms of brand recognition and size, and skill level, because we really have had so many different types of teams and so many different types of missions that we have partnered with and worked with over the years. So, for example, we've worked with organizations like Communities United for Police Reform. We actually worked with them and some other peer and partner organizations, helping them, training them, giving them capacity and understanding how they can use digital marketing to be able to really create police reform change in the United States. But then we've also worked with the Global Teacher Prize, which was started by the Barkey Foundation, which is an international foundation that's based in the United Arab Emirates, and they have locations in Europe and the UK, but they really wanted to create a global brand that would really uplift teachers from all around the world. And they do something really special every year where they award one teacher $1 million. And their goal was to just really be able to elevate teachers to like millionaire celebrity status. And we helped them and their team create that brand and that vision and shift the narrative around what it means to be a teacher and how that's valued in cultures around the world, from zero, from nothing, and help them build their platforms across social media and in terms of their content marketing and their email list in the thousands. And so you'll see here a very wide range of organizations from all over. And what we've done with them is really partnered and integrated into their marketing teams and really work hand in hand with them to create strategies to train their team members in the skills that they needed so that they could actually implement the things that were necessary to really implement the strategy and get the results they wanted. And we were able to help get amazing results and help work with them and grow with them over a period of time. And we've done that with every single organization listed here and many, many others. We've also done something really special with foundations that have grantee groups that they wanted to offer trainings for. And so we have experience working with these foundations and many others, helping their grantees get specialized training and experience for specific situations. So, for example, we worked with the Silicon Valley Community Foundation so that we could help their dozens of grantees get the information they needed on how to create effective digital marketing that would help their specific communities throughout California get access to really key information about the census, so that key communities that typically are underrepresented when it comes to census outreach and filling out the census would be able to be reached and be able to complete the census in 2020. And so that was one project that we did for their group of grantees. We've also done the same for the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, where we worked on trainings that helped them think about how to up-level their skills in terms of email marketing and creating a list of supporters or donors for specific initiatives around health. And we've also done the same for the New Venture Fund. We worked on a project for a group of their grantees that also wanted to up-level and their ability to use digital marketing for census outreach as well. So we've worked with many groups and we've done many types of projects on different types of issues. And it's really been amazing because what we've learned is that there's a lot of power in collaboration. I think one of the most outstanding and memorable projects that we worked on was with MoveOn.org, where they approached Do Big Things, the agency that we were working for, and wanted us to help facilitate a collaborative study where we did research for them and a group of their peers of very well-known, nationally recognized organizations. And what we did was Adriana and I, we basically led and facilitated their collaboration together, the exchange of knowledge, data, resources, so that they could learn together, get access to a report that gave them some really key strategic insight on how they can continue to grow in terms of their presence on social media and their effectiveness towards moving the needle on key issues in the next couple of years. And what we really learned was that there's a shift happening in the world where a lot of organizations that may have typically been more competitive or siloed are now trying to join hands together so that they can collaboratively make a greater impact and actually create a more cohesive, strategic, intentional movement together on the issues that they care most about. And so that's something that we love to do wherever there are foundations or groups or coalitions of organizations that want to be able to collaborate and want to learn and grow together and need a little bit of help to facilitate that. That is something that we love to do and have a lot of experience in and understand really the value in it and why it is so necessary in the world today. Here's a quote from our former boss, Cheryl Conti, who is now the Chief Innovation Officer at the Impact Seat. And she's also the chair and founder of Do Big Things, the agency that we worked with. And she's had this to say about us. She said, I have only the best things to say about Adriana and Abigail. They are amazing and both top-notch trainers, deaf worth your team's time. And that is absolutely, so wonderful to hear from her because we have done that for so many years in the agencies that she's built with the network of clients and organizations that she has brought into those agencies. And so to have her say that means a lot to us because it is personally what we think we're really great at as well and what we love to do. So in a nutshell, what is Imagine Pod? The way that we talk about Imagine Pod is that our ultimate goal is to propel social purpose. We want to bring some energy, some movement to social purpose for anybody that has it, for anybody that really they wake up every day and they are thinking about some type of social positive change that they want to see in the world, service to others, specific communities in the world that they want to help and want to make the world better in some way in their lifetime. And our goal would be to give them resources through Imagine Pod that would allow them to really propel that in some way. So we've created a video that kind of distills down who we are in just 60 seconds, and you are welcome to click the link in this presentation deck and go over and watch that. If there's anything that you need to just kind of really know who we are in a nutshell, this video will give you exactly that. So we invite you to watch that. And then I think the best way to really describe who we are is that we're all about partnering accessibility with empowerment. What we really want to do is make agency level growth marketing tactics and strategy accessible to everyone with social purpose. We kind of thought about what are some of the amazing brands that have really brought accessibility to amazing knowledge that otherwise people would need specific partnerships or relationships or funding to gain and to have access to. So we thought of organizations like Mind Valley that are bringing personal development resources and knowledge and making it accessible to everybody around the world. And we kind of want to be that equivalent. We want to make agency level strategic growth marketing tactics that we have seen people use over the years very successfully to create social change and major narrative shifts in the world, and distill it down into resources that anybody with a social purpose can understand and digest, regardless of their background, regardless of their skill level, and actually employ, regardless of their team size, regardless of their budget. So that's the mission we set out on, and that is our goal with Imagine Pod. The way that we did that was we started on a journey of creating this course, this Growth Marketing with a Mission experience. And we launched it to a team of very brave and very trusting and courageous, amazing founding members. They were people who were in our personal network that really wanted to understand the tactics that we were teaching and wanted to understand the knowledge and experience that we'd had over the years, and they were willing to impart on this journey with us. So they went through this 7-week experience that we've created with Growth Marketing with a Mission. And they went through each and every module, which consists of workbooks, trainings, and private Q&As. So they were in the community together, asking questions together. And they went through it over a period of 7 weeks. We also gave them a lot of different bonuses and lots of other resources, and basically did our best to give them almost everything that we could think of that would allow them to have access to what we've learned over the years in a distilled, easy way to understand and implement. And what happened really was they loved it so much. There were so many people experiencing breakthroughs, so many people who now are on track to actually propelling things that had kind of been stuck or stagnant for many years. So many people who came out of this process with the exact answers and things that they needed to do to continue to grow. And they represented a wide range in terms of the size of the organizations that they were working with or the projects that they were starting, as well as industries and the types of social impact projects that they were trying to work on. Very diverse, and they all really were able to glean so much positive things from this experience of the Growth Marketing Masterclass. And so I wanted to share with you just some of the things that they highlighted as, the most valuable for them from this experience. So one of our founding members, her name is Caroline De Silva. She is a coach, trainer, and advisor with Box, and she's based in France. So she said, I've been through some other masterminds, and I was wondering why I keep feeling motivated to show up to this one. One reason is that you are a storehouse of knowledge. There's this encyclopedic knowledge behind whatever question we throw at you, and we'll have an answer. And so that was one of the things that we really focused on, was that we would have office hours and weekly Q&As where we could walk through people's questions and really specifically address any hangups they had, both empowering them with specific examples from our background that proved that they could do what we were teaching them, and also helping them walk through whatever things specific to their project they needed to better understand. And we think that it's definitely one of the highlights of this process, is that we provide that in this whole experience. We don't just give training materials and then a workbook and say, see you later, good luck, hope you can figure it out. We actually do what we love best, which is build relationships with the people in the course who are going through it. We think specifically about their specific and unique situations and how we can help them apply it to what they learn in the course. And then we definitely provide time every single week to actually answer their specific questions and stay available via email to continue the dialogue, so that there's literally zero reason why they're not able to have the answers that they need. And then another one of our founding members, her name is Donna Snerin. She's the founder of Reenliven, which is an amazing brand that wants to provide health-based integrative medicine resources to cancer survivors. And she said, I've never really been able to access stuff like this, but you offered it where it was an affordable reach for me. I feel so much in my heart that I could be part of something that usually people have to get a Hewlett grant to pay for. And so I feel this is an information arbitrage for me. This is why I push so hard to show up all the time. It's very meaningful. And it really meant a lot for us, because as a cancer survivor herself, she is still ongoing trying to work through health issues. And she's also based in South Africa, where the internet access and other infrastructure issues were challenges for her being able to continue to show up during all of our live Q&As and to continue working through the course, but she still did. And so we just feel like this highlights the fact that this was such a valuable part of all of our members being able to continue to grow and be able to continue to propel their social purpose. So what we did after that journey with our founding members was we officially launched Imagine Pod and decided to craft a really robust experience and toolbox of resources, essentially, that we could offer to people like Donna and like Carolyn, as well as other groups of organizations. And so one of the things that we have is our growth marketing with a mission, which is this course that allows people to learn how to create a marketing funnel for growth in just 7 weeks. It basically is created holistically for people who are social purpose minded. So if people don't have a very robust background in digital marketing, this course is great for them because we use the language of people who are ultimately motivated by the social impact change and not necessarily about becoming a marketing guru. And it also has created a community of social impact leaders. So when people join this growth marketing with a mission, they're actually joining a community of other people who want to propel their purpose too and want to learn and want to grow and are really creating a space, a safe space where people can ask questions and talk about their vision and talk about what they're working on without facing any judgment or apathy or any of the things that might not make them feel safe enough to be able to ask questions or grow. And so it's a really special experience for people who go through growth marketing with a mission. And then we wanted to add on to that some facilitation of really allowing people to get work done and really implement what they're learning. So it doesn't just stay stuck up here and it doesn't just provide a sense of empowerment, but it actually gives them space to really get down to the brass tacks and get work done and have something in hand that's tangible as a real result of going through our resources and our trainings and our courses. So we also offer growth boot camps and intensives. So what that means is that for our boot camps, we actually help our members set aside 3 days where they can get what would normally take 3 months worth of work done in that time of just 3 days. It's the best type of experience for people who want to get unstuck and really just get focused on the main thing that they need to move forward on without a lot of distractions that life often throws them. And it's the best way for them to just quickly see results and really make that impact that they want to make. And then we also have intensives, which are just for a few hours over one day. So we have both of those types of experiences, which are really, really great add on to the full growth marketing with a mission course. And then lastly, we offer coaching and a community because what we really learned is that when people join, they don't want it to end. They want to continue in the community. They want to continue building the relationships. They want to continue to grow. And then we also realized that we have an amazing group or network and what we're calling a pod of experts around Adriana and I that love Imagine Pod and what we're doing. And so we wanted a place where we could allow them to also speak into the work that our members are doing so they can offer trainings and do live Q&As and give resources and hold office hours where they can answer people's questions as well. And so everybody who's in our coaching community, they get access to both the growth marketing with a mission masterclass experience, as well as all of our boot camps and intensives and our ongoing month-to-month coaching and access to our whole pod of experts. So that's what we created. And that's our journey and how we got to where we are today. So I wanted to dive into a little bit about our guiding principles and then share with you the specifics of what you could expect if you were to go, or a group of your grantees or a coalition of organizations, what they would experience if they were to go through the growth marketing with a mission course. So we have 4 core beliefs, and these are really, really important to understand because they literally guide everything that we do, and they are heavily injected into the materials and the resources that we provide and our way that we kind of vet the types of experts that we bring into our community. The first is that we believe that there are hidden gems of opportunity in every challenge in life. And so what we try to do is holistically approach challenges that people in our community may be facing. Social impact leaders have a lot on their shoulders because they're trying to really improve the world and improve people's lives. They're very outward focused. They're very selfless. Everything that they do when they wake up in the morning is really focused on how do they make something better in the world for others. And there are so many challenges that one can face when they're in that position. And there are so many challenges that groups or organizations face just in trying to collaborate. And so the approach that we take is that we want to look at challenges that you may face. They could be external issues happening in the world, like a global pandemic or other crazy, unprecedented things that nobody could have planned, all the way down to just restraints that maybe they have in terms of their organization's budget or their team size, or maybe the skill level of the members of their team members. Whatever they perceive as the main challenges to their growth, we help them uncover gems of hidden opportunity in them. And what that allows them to do with that frame of mind is really tap into what are the things that are already inherent in their situation that will allow them to overcome the challenges. And with that, we've seen a lot of breakthrough and growth for teams and for individuals because they now face those things that they formerly framed as challenges that were impeding their growth as opportunities that allow them to continue to move forward. And so that's where the propel part comes in, that sense of movement and the energy forward, because we have that frame. We always talk from that, and we always encourage people to dig deeper and find it, those hidden gems. The other thing is that we really believe that all of digital marketing, in terms of its actual effectiveness, can be distilled down into how well an organization can build relationships with their core audiences. And so it doesn't really matter what types of technology or fancy tactics or, secret knowledge anybody might try to give to teams to teach them in terms of digital marketing. It really all can just still be distilled down to human interaction and psychology 101, which is that people want to be seen and heard, and they want relationships, and they want them and crave them even online in a virtual world. And so really effective marketing understands this and really knows how to implement that across the board in a really intentional way. And so we teach people also to have that frame of mind where at the end of the day, the goal is to use these tactics and these learnings to build relationships with their key audiences. And that's where effectiveness comes in, because it really kind of starts to permeate into the types of tactics you use, the type of messaging you use, the types of creative you use, the types of strategic layering of the types of funnels you're going to build and how that works, where you want your audience to end up. All of that really has to do with the type of relationship you want to build with them. And so we teach all of our students in this growth marketing with a mission course to think about it in that way. And when they do, they get great results because they're really seeing their core audiences as people that they just need to build relationships with. The other thing that we believe is that all teams are really made up of people, individual people who have superpowers. And so it's really exciting for us because what we've learned over our 10 plus years of working with social impact leaders is that there are basically 5 superpower types, or you might even kind of call them like personality types. So we created a quiz that allows organizations and teams to take and learn who has what superpower and how can we leverage that in our team together. And so it's really exciting because when people kind of have that sense of self-discovery and uncover their superpower, then they really know the role that they play in reaching that larger social impact vision. And it's such a beautiful thing. So this brings me to our last core belief, and that is that there are 5 social impact types. And I want to walk through them because I think this really will resonate with you, especially if you are a part of a team or a coalition. You'll probably starting to see maybe who you are and who others may be. So the first type is the visionary. Typically, these are the people who are leading a lot of teams. They could be the executive director of a nonprofit, or they might just be the director of the marketing team. But wherever they are in that group, they are the one who have an amazing vision, and they usually can get people to buy into it and to see what they see, right? Because they're seeing the world as it could be, not as it actually is, and they know how to communicate it in a way that others are so excited about. They also want to join in on being able to make that vision a reality. But the problem is that visionaries often don't have the framework, they don't have a strategy for how they're going to lead those people to where they need to be. And they have so many decisions to make that they often feel decision fatigue. We see this so often on teams where the visionaries just don't really know what they're supposed to be saying yes and no to. And they just need a little guidance. They want a proven framework that they know works well because other people have done it. And without it, there's so much frustration, there's so much decision fatigue. And oftentimes they are kind of battling this sense of maybe the vision isn't actually something that we can achieve. And so it's too audacious. And so that is one type of superpower that we see on teams. And it makes us really excited because when we can connect with the visionary, it typically really injects energy into the rest of the group. And then there's the skill builder, which is so super important and necessary, especially if they are not so, always recognized within a team. Once you can recognize who have the skills to be able to not be overwhelmed in the vision, but really know what does it take day to day to actually get to the vision? What are the steps that need to be implemented? How do we think about the details? What are the things that need to be accomplished, the micro steps, the metrics that need to be hit in the meantime before we reach the larger growth goals that are major targets that we're aiming for? Those people are really what it takes to get to the vision because they have the ability to then implement the day-to-day things that are necessary to move forward. And they have really that patience and the motivation to learn and build their own capacity so that they have what it takes to do it and to implement on the day-to-day. And so what they need really is they need capacity building and training. So when they're implementing day to day, it's done with a really great strategic framework. So everything they do is intentional and not meaningless. And so that they are confident in their abilities. And because, oftentimes they're not sure if they have what it takes, once they do have that confidence, they're on a roll and they're making such an impact and really allowing that group, that coalition, the organization to move faster towards the vision that the visionary has set. Then there's always influencers, and those influencers have that very enviable ability to just create a massive audience, a group of people that wants to follow them, especially in regards to certain specific social issues that people care about. And oftentimes influencers have large followings. So that's a really easy way to know who's an influencer because they typically have a large social media presence or even a large offline presence or network where they've kind of established themselves as, the person that everybody wants to go to talk about a certain issue, and that really they can say something and they mobilize a large group of people to join in with them. And one of the issues that they often face is that they can do that and they don't have very good digital marketing infrastructure to really help them do things in a sustainable way. They don't know the specifics of how to build an email list, but they have a lot of followers on social media, right? So they need a way to be able to use this skill for good in the world, but in a way that's sustainable, where they have an asset that they own, like an email list or an SMS list. They know how to create a marketing funnel so they can really mobilize people to a specific end, to specific actions that are necessary, like calling a legislator or donating money towards a cause or signing a petition, whatever it may be, so that it's not just influence for influence. And so that's also another incredible and powerful type of social impact superpower that we have seen over the years. And we love to work with influencers because they can typically really get a large number of people in on something and to take really meaningful actions around social purpose and social impact causes. And then the fourth type is a thought leader. And oftentimes thought leaders are, people who are speakers or authors or academics, and they, have such niche knowledge and expertise in something, and they've been in an industry for years and years and know the ins and outs. They are the go-to expert on a topic, and they are the person that really knows exactly what needs to happen in order to change the world for better. But they don't have influence, they don't have a digital marketing team, or understand really how to get that message in a form that's going to mobilize people to create the right actions that change the world. And so thought leaders are really important because they're the people who really add credibility to movements, because they have the research and they have the data and they have the know-how and they have the success stories and they know exactly what they're talking about. So it's really important to identify them in teams and then be able to really amplify their voices in a way that only marketing can do, that mobilizes people, therefore, to then take action and really continue to move the needle on the causes that they've, researched about for years. And then the last, but definitely not least, is the pioneer. And this is the personality type that is often overlooked because they are often solo. They're like scientists and innovators and people they just do things, they fix problems. They see, oh, I know exactly how to fix a problem, but then they don't know how to build a brand or a movement or mobilize people around it or do anything with it. And so pioneers are really incredible because they know how to fix something and they have a solution. It could be their know-how, it could be their experience, it could be something completely new that no one's ever seen in the world, and they just have the idea. But they're not necessarily a marketing guru, and they don't necessarily want to even sometimes build something big around it. We've worked with so many pioneers who are like, look, I just want to hand this off to somebody else who can do the marketing. I don't want to be the face of this. I just fixed a problem, and now you go and do something with it, So pioneers are really great when it comes to social impact because their whole goal was just to fix a problem they saw in the world, that they were like, there's no reason why this problem still exists. Let's just move on and fix it. And we love to really use marketing to propel whatever solutions that they've created further into the world, so it has a much larger impact. So what we have done with these core beliefs and our years of experience and this beautiful journey we took with founding members was we created what we're calling growth marketing for groups. So I wanted to share a little bit about what that process looks like so that you can envision, if my organization or my grantees or my coalition of organizations and collaborators and partners were to embark on this together, what would that even look like? So the first thing that we want you to know is that everything we do is super intentional, and we want people to know their end target and the micro steps it takes to get there, so that when we embark on it, we know exactly where we are. We know exactly where we're finding success and where we're going to be at the end. So we create a journey map, and it's very specific to the project or the organization or the group that we would be working with. And it would be customized specifically to you. So this is just one example of one that we've created for another client and for their team. But I think this gives you a good, feel for what it would look like and how we strategically think through, where do we need to go? If we need to increase our capacity and we need to launch something, or we need to have an end goal, what does it take to get there? And then we know along the way where we're going to be, and then we assign and budget time and dates against that. Again, the reason why we started it was because a lot of teams and organizations need structure and support. So the whole purpose of it is that this journey and this experience that you have really provides structure as well as the support you need to be able to together and collaboratively achieve your growth goals and increase your own capacity. And so the whole purpose is that it feels like a very empowering and supportive community and process for every team member involved, because we really recognize everyone's superpower and we recognize what everyone brings to the table, and we assign people the right capacity building roles accordingly. Here's another quote from an amazing, amazing member of our masterclass. Her name is Leilani Yachts, and she's the founder of Naturally Smart Travel. So she said, your webinar spoke to me immediately. The masterclass is the best present for myself. It offered the most excitement because it's about connecting and relationships. I got a master's degree in business management 9 years ago and need more of the specifics of marketing. You're easy to understand and listen to. So she actually came to us through a webinar training that we did. And then she decided to join our Growth Marketing with a Mission Masterclass. And what we really saw was that it was giving her those specific skills she needed in a way she could understand and she could work with to be able to build a marketing funnel for naturally smart travel. And so it's been really amazing to see her evolution and the process that she went to, just further showing that this experience that we've created really is for all types of people, wherever they are. If they have a social purpose, this experience will help give them the skills that they need to propel it. The other thing that you would expect to experience is that we would have structured the course and this experience around these pillars of mission-minded marketing. So what we've done is we've distilled down the 7 weeks into these 6 pillars, and all of the content is categorized and organized based on them. So as you're going through, it's very logical, it makes a lot of sense, and each one builds off of the other. So we first focus on focus, helping organizations and teams get the big picture and the vision and prioritize what it is that they want to work on. Again, it kind of goes back to the journey map. At the end of the map, you would see the target focus that they have. Then we have goals. We actually know how to set goals in a way that are effective. So people know exactly what they're doing, how to track if they're getting there, and when they've gotten there. And we help organizations and teams create goals that really work, that they can actually hit. And that's actually a skill. We have a whole framework for it. We have seen over the years how goals can be written about, and people can have like a 100-page strategy document with beautiful goals in it and never use it because it wasn't set up properly. And so we offer that, plus great conversations around the goals. So every one of the team members knows what they are and has internalized it and understands how to be on track towards those goals and the role that they play in it. All of that, all those little details are important, and that's what makes them effective. Then we talk about personas, which is an amazing tool that we think is often really overlooked or just undervalued when it comes to the marketing world. But what we've done is talked about how to use personas to really have a deep and focused and intentional understanding of an organization or a group's core audiences, how to understand the audiences, how to map out who they are, and then how to use that when creating messaging, which has been what we dive into after that. We talk about how to create a narrative shift and what it takes to do that. And then we go right into what builds off of that, which is actually creating a marketing funnel that allows those personas to really engage with the messaging and be taken on a journey from one place to another. That's what a funnel is. And then the last step is about generating traffic. So we have more of your core audience or your personas going through the funnel and taking the meaningful actions that then create what it is that we all care most about, which is the social impact. So again, these are the training modules that are in the course. Module 1 is about focusing for the journey ahead, so you know where you're going. Module 2 is about goal setting with a social purpose. So all the goals are really set well, they're set intentionally, and they're effectively done so that everybody on the team can actually use them and work towards them and hit them. And then module 3 is about personifying your audience. It's really a personal process because it harkens to this whole core idea that we hold at Imagine Pod, which is that it's all about building relationships with your audience. The whole personifying part creates the ability to do that because it creates a very personal relationship with your core audience. So we go through a whole module on how to do that. And then from there, we go into module 4 on messaging with a mission. We give very specific details of how organizations have used messaging to create massive social change through narrative shifts. We give lots of examples. It should be super clear exactly how this can be done by any size organization at the end of that module. And then we also are preparing you to understand how to use the messaging throughout your full funnel. And then in module 5, We talk about exactly how to make a funnel, what's involved in the funnel, how do you make it, what a funnel really does. And even if you're not a marketing guru or you feel like creating a funnel is super sophisticated, you'll have the confidence that you understand what it is and exactly how to build one for your situation. And then in module 6, we talk about the best ways to generate traffic, especially in a landscape where social media is changing a lot. And a lot of people aren't sure really how to use digital advertising or even organic sources of traffic. So we walk through all those complexities, all of the current challenges that we're facing right now with it, and explain exactly how social purpose leaders can generate traffic sustainably in a way that actually helps them to grow, because we teach about the tactics in terms of revenue and budgeting and a way to make sure that your funnel is paying for itself. So these modules are amazing. They really build one off of the other, and they are really effective because of the way that we've organized it and the order we've put them in. And then we have a bonus week, which is all about planning next steps. So we don't just leave you there. We actually give you your next steps. We tell you what to do next, right? And this is one of the things that so many of our masterclass members really loved, was ending with that, because they learned so much and they did so much, and then they just needed some direction on now, where do I go from here? So that next steps module is really key. And one of our masterclass founding members, Jay Harris, said, our discussions about micro steps is key. The discipline to break it down into what to do this week, that's in the right direction. It's amazing how helpful that is. And really, that's what we provide throughout Growth Marketing with a Mission. We give you the micro steps. We give you very clear and digestible to understand, bits of information. We give you a workbook so you can actually work through all the frameworks. And when you're done with the module, you've done the work and it's all ready for you to implement and use. And then we also give you Q&As where you can ask any questions that might be hanging you up. And then, of course, we give you a next steps module where you can put it all together and then be on your path to really rolling with your marketing funnel, all in 7 weeks. So to just kind of put it all together, this is what we offer in Growth Marketing with a Mission for groups. You get the whole course, the 7 training video sessions that come with detailed PDF guided workbooks. Okay, so with the training session, you have a workbook that you and your team can go through together to actually get the work done and implement the things that you're learning. Then we also give private group trainings and Q&As. So when your group goes through it, or maybe your coalition of organizations or the group of grantees that are doing it together, when you're going through this together week by week, you're joining a private call of just you all, along with Adriana and myself, so that we can walk through your specific questions and really address them in a way that's specific to you, to your project, to your group, to your organization, to your audience. So it's very customized. It's not too general. It's actually, we do all the work to make sure that it's so specific and folded around what you all need and where you need to end up at the end of your journey map. So it's really what we love. It's our bread and butter, the capacity training, the building. Like, we meet with your team, we teach you the skills, we answer your questions. It's a safe space because it's private and just you all. And then you also have access to the recordings of it. So it is such an asset going forward for that group, because they can continue to refer to it and use it as a resource to continue building capacity and things like that. So that is another really amazing feature of the Growth Marketing with a Mission for groups. Then we also offer this toolbox, which is essentially I guess you could say, a list of tools that you would need to be able to implement as a group or for your organization in order to build and run your marketing funnel over the long term. And so there are a lot of organizations who might be a part of your group, or a lot of team members who are in your group, that maybe just don't fully understand a lot about the technology side of things, or maybe they feel a little overwhelmed by it. Some people have major tech fears. There's so many complexities to it. And so they love the theoretical frameworks that we go through in the course, but they don't want to actually take, the next steps to actually adopting platforms and being able to pick a CRM or an email platform or, a lead generation platform or whatever it may be. So what we've created is a toolbox that lists out all the options and all of the tools that you will need that map to every part of the marketing funnel that we discussed throughout Growth Marketing with a Mission. So you will never feel like you don't know what tools you need or what are the options. We go in depth on them. We also talk about the tips that you can use to give you the right frame of mind for adopting the right tools. And then we also include a beginner's choice. So if you're just starting out and you're overwhelmed by the options, you can start off with the one that we recommend as the easiest one. And then we also offer tool onboarding because we recognize a lot of people need training on tools. Maybe they don't know how to set up a CRM. They don't know how to navigate or migrate to a new tool, whatever it may be. So what we offer is the trainings that are necessary to help you confidently have the right tech stack that you need to implement your funnel, and your team feels confident with it. They know how to use it. They've onboarded the platform, no problem. And that's not a hurdle or a challenge anymore, and actually using the funnel to create the growth that they need. And then, of course, we give you a journey map so you know exactly where you're going to be. And then we give you a checklist so you know what you've accomplished along the way and what's up next, so that you're doing things in the proper order and with intention. All of this is about clarity. We give your team clarity. They know where they are. They know where they're going. They know what's next. They know the next step. And what that produces is confidence. When they have the confidence, then they're actually creating momentum. So again, this is what the propel part is. We propel social purpose because we have done everything and set it up for you so that there is literally no question in your mind as to where you need to go next to create movement and make progress. And again, I wanted to talk about the things that really make this masterclass unique. That might be the intangibles, right? You know specifically what you get now, but here are the things that might not be immediately obvious just from that list. And it's really the parts of this whole experience that we think is so valuable. One of them is that we take a very holistic approach that's very collaborative, because we wanted this to be specifically made for people who are motivated by social purpose, right? That is their core motivation. That is why they're doing what they're doing. And they want to do it in the spirit of collaboration with others. And they want to be able to go through an experience that's holistic, that treats them as a whole person, including all of the personal mindset challenges that they may be facing. So the way we've created these materials, you'll notice, is that it really sets people up for long-term success. From the beginning of module 1, we ultimately explain to you how you can make sure that what you're building for propelling your social purpose can be consistently run for the long haul. And so, for us, it was really important that we created something with materials that will allow people to be long-term successful, not just in the short term or to see success just for a little bit. The other thing is that our materials really kind of combine both revenue and impact strategies. So we show you how to create revenue so that it can fund your funnel and fund your social purpose, and helps you not feel like that in any way is a hindrance to your motivation to create positive impact in the world. So we really have great frameworks for allowing you to think through the specifics of your budget, of your numbers, of the revenue you need to create, and any challenges you might have in terms of what is, sometimes that distinction between being a change maker in the world and a money maker. We break down that barrier so that you're confidently able as a team to talk about how to generate revenue and make money so that it can fuel the impact and the positive social change that you want to make in the world. There's a lot of internal work that people do, a lot of mindset work. Just the way we created this, it's definitely like approaching people as people, and allows them to see how marketing can allow them to approach their audience as people. So it's about personal relationship building. It's about really, again, overcoming any weaknesses or challenges you have. And the language we use and the way we've set it up is such that people are really being filled as social purpose leaders. And so it's such a beautiful experience overall, holistically. And the big thing that we're really, really proud of is that we feel like it's such a great blend of both the social impact and the business worlds. And so we teach and really want to, help people understand, give them the tools they need to know great marketing language that really comes from the business world. But we explain it in a way that I think is really grounded and social impact in the way that social purpose leaders really think about things and talk about things. So it's really a great blend of those two worlds, the language, the way we define things, the way that we come at things. It is such a beautiful blend. So everybody can feel like they understand how to talk about those things and how to relate to each other in a way that makes sense in both realms. And ultimately, what our goal is to do is to, by making this accessible to people, make sure that the generation of revenue solves any problems that might come up in terms of we don't have enough budget to be able to grow the way that a larger organization does. We wanted to be able to create a resource that teaches you how to make a funnel that just blows that challenge out of the water. And so that's what we've done with Growth Marketing with a Mission. We also use a lot in terms of, the power of collaboration. We talk a lot about how teams need to be involved together. So we've incorporated that into this whole thing. We want teams to do it together. We want them to join the Q&As together. We invite people who are supporters in what they're doing, whether they are spouses or just significant others that are joining alongside of people in their pursuit of that social purpose, and ask them to also come to our Q&As, because we believe the power of collaboration is in that when we all come together to work on something, we multiply our efforts. And it's just such a beautiful thing. We've seen it happen so many times that the more support people have in groups to be able to go through the course together, the more success, the better results they get. We also use the language of social purpose leaders, and I touched on this before, but we wanted to make sure that when we talk about things, we always explain how that marketing tactic is going to achieve their end goal, which is social impact. We ground everything in your core motivators for the 5 personality types. So when you go through the course, everybody who's going through it should feel like they understand what's being said and it's speaking their language. And then again, like that golden list of cool tools that we've done, we've put together, that's our toolbox. It is so helpful for teams so they are never intimidated by the technology. And then lastly, I think one of the most powerful intangibles that is a part of this course is the safe space. People can join the Q&A and ask questions, and the way we facilitate it and the way that we really help you get at what are the real challenges, what are the real questions. Everybody should feel welcome, open, like they can join and ask anything, and they're not seen as stupid. They're not seen as a weak link on the team. They are seen as a valuable participant who is going to help them overcome a challenge by asking a question. Like the way that we create that space allows for teams to really be open, honest, and do it in a way where there's no fear. And so it's a great team building tool as well. So again, what that means is that you be focusing on one success path with a minimum viable product. Everything's focused. You get to master one thing and do it well before you add on any complexity. We also do goal setting that aligns with that focused path, persona building to be clear on whom you want to reach and really mobilize to take significant action. We talk about the messaging in a way that touches hearts and minds, because we've seen what it takes to actually create major social change through narrative shifts in the world on both a really national level as well as in local communities. And so we definitely put all of that in this course for you to understand what messaging can really do when it's done well. And then funneling to get new audiences into your email list and moving them from where they are to actually taking meaningful actions that allow your organization to grow, whether it's donating or purchasing, signing petitions, calling legislators, joining your email list, attending an event virtually live online, whatever those significant actions are, the funnel gets them there. And in this course, you learn exactly how to get that to happen with your core audiences. And then lastly, sending traffic to that funnel and optimizing this minimum viable product over time. One of the things that we always talk about with our students in growth marketing with a mission, and just in general with our clients at Imagine Pod, is that one of the keys is to just get going. And we always love this quote from Ryan Levesque, who is a mentor of ours and the CEO of the Ask Method and Bucket.io. And he says, you don't have to get it perfect. You just have to get it going. And the best time to get it going is right here, right now, today. So what we are really hoping to do is get groups to just make the moves they need to keep getting progress and movement and working through hurdles and growing together, and knowing that it doesn't need to be perfect, but that they reach the vision and the end goal at the end of that journey map because they've just decided to actually get things going. So if you're interested in growth marketing with a mission for groups that we've created, the next thing that you should do is you should contact us. You can email us at masterclass@imaginepod.com. And what we'll do is work with you on how you can actually get this going for either your organization. You might have a team in your organization that wants to go through it, or it could be, you're a foundation and you want your grantees to go through it, or it may be your coalition or a group of organizations, whatever it may be. What we'll do is we'll help get you guys onboarded, and we'll give you access immediately to the online course and all the resources that come along with it. We're continuing to add more bonuses and resources as we go along. So it's very robust, and we would give you immediate access to it all. And then we would help you kind of create your cadence for the Q&As that we would do with you all, so that we can do actual in-depth trainings with you, as well as hold office hours for Q&As. And we would also invite your team or your organization or your group of organizations to our Masterclass community to connect with other amazing social impact leaders, because the community we're building there is absolutely inspiring and empowering. And I think there's such a great example of really the level of collaboration that's necessary today to really create great positive change in the world. So it's also an amazing thing that your group gets to be a part of. And then we would set up invitations to all of your trainings and your private Q&A sessions and everything else. And that's our process. We would get you started right away, up and rolling, and we would start to meet with you all and get to work and collaborating together. So that is who we are at Imagine Pod, our growth marketing with a mission, specifically for groups, and our core principles, everything we've put into it, our whole heart, and everything that we wanted to share with you. And again, if you want to get in touch with us, you can also reach us at our personal emails or call us on our phone numbers. We are excited to talk with you and see how growth marketing with a mission could be specifically helpful for you and your team. So just reach out to us. Thank you. Talk to you soon.